Yeah, essentially, Theophil wasn't disowned, but he's like being put somewhere where he's out of sight.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep. Like normally when it
Yeah.
comes to these households, and this time period specifically, the firstborn son is supposed to take over the affairs of the estate. But nope, you can have a studio on the other side of town. Just don't bother us.
Yeah, I think though in the Dittarsdorf family, it's kind of like the norm that the girls have more of an affinity for these arts, like singing and being what's it called? Um
Diviners, mediums.
no, not the mediums. Yeah, they have more of a talent for that than, the sons in the family. But at the same time, the expectations put on all of these women and all that stuff is just,
Hmm.
yeah.
There is an allegory here of the treatment of people with mental health issues, like more
Hmm.
severe mental health issues too.
It's just called hysteria. Like
Yeah,
they aren't taken seriously at all.
like if this were the real world, they could be diagnosed with schizophrenia, um, bipolar disorder, and like several other diagnoses that do have medications in this day and age. But in those days, and sadly in some parts of the world to this day, there is like a stigma against it and then treated as a curse. Like in the universe of this story, it very well could be, but the treatment is still the same. That they're not taking it seriously enough in the story.
Yeah, I think the curse is not necessarily their like mental health issues
Hmm.
and the things that they suffer from in that like regard, but more that they have to, like let spirits possess them basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you already have like a history of not having the best, mental strength and mental health,
Right.
that can't be healthy. Like seeing all these horrible things like as a child,
And then it is
for
also
it's
physically
awful.
draining. Like
That as well.
both Evangeline and Isolde are described as bleeding profusely whenever they do these seances. So
Yeah, I mean
it's
one
not
of
like
the
a
daughters even just perished completely.
yeah, one of them just
So
like completely died, her eyes like gone. I I I think they're implying that her eyes exploded.
I don't know if they necessarily did that.
Or she just
I
closed
think because
them, you know.
no, because in I think after like when she appears to Isolde, that makes it sound like when it says like her empty eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think at the beginning it was more stated like her eyes grew vacant, like you know she didn't have the shining light in her eyes
Ah,
anymore.
okay, okay.
Like basically if when you die and you look at a
You
person's
lose the light
eyes,
in your
I
eyes,
don't
yeah.
think yeah it's they're looking at nothingness basically. Their eyes are empty in terms of they are dead because she was just like crying
Hmm.
golden tears. Also, the wait. Right, I remembered another detail. I don't know if that's like has anything to do with chapter 11 because I haven't played it
Hmm.
yet. But Trista at the beginning said she saw golden rabbits,
Hmm.
and I was like, are we pulling with like something? Like, are we putting characters with something uh that is scary and ghost and I don't know. It's like that
Unilogs.
is I don't know about that one.
I mean, the golden spinning wheel is canon in the story. Multiple times it's referenced in the main story. And it does
But
work
the
that
the
when Virgin
golden
spins
rabbit.
it, it summons the person to her side, like Soneto.
Yeah. Though I like the thing I'm staring at is like that specifically wasn't a golden like spinning wheel, but it was
Hmm.
golden rabbits.
Golden rabbits, yeah. Unilogs.
I mean, could have been because of the Apfelstrudel and Blume.
Right. The yellow and white
But
rabbits.
yeah, but those were both golden, so and then she's crying golden tears.
Hmm.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
No, no.
By the way, before we continue with the next chapter, I just wanted to add one more thing
Sure.
that has been annoying me ever since I realized it once again. So you know how I have to do like middle high German stuff and like that time period in Germany as well.
Yep.
And there's like several offers with some texts that were written at the time that are fairly like popular
Mhm.
and famous, I guess. And one of them is Tristan, like the Tristan Roman, and it's one of the like Arthur's Roman, like the king and stuff, and
Hmm.
knights and that sort of stuff. But Tristan basically falls in love with Isolde. And I'm sitting here like, Tristan, Isolde, I can't do this anymore. I'm being hunted down by this by this time period and by my university work. And I completely forgot until I was like, oh yeah, Isolde's sister Trista.
Mhm. It's the deep research that reverse writers do for all the chapters and the names and everything, the references.
Yeah, but it's especially for Isolde with all the like opera singer stuff and all
Mhm.
that stuff. It's like so much of it is just based in terms of like German stories for
Mhm.
opera. So much of it is just based on these old random texts. And I'm just sitting here and struggling because I was like, I had just finished studying. I was like, oh yeah, I'm finally free. And then I look at like what the name was of the sister again. I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
no longer free, no longer free.
Together again with your
Yeah, and
behated studies or beloved
yeah, and
studies,
then
depending on the day.
yeah, today I like before the voice acting stuff. Remember how I had to do some homework? Yeah, it was there again. I had to read some parts from Tristan, and it included Isolde and her mom, Isolde.
Hmm.
Both of them are called Isolde.
Yep.
Life! Haha!
Life imitates art, and vice versa.
Here sometimes. But
All right,
alright, shall we continue?
let's. Part 4, Mirror of Tears.
Hmm? This is.
Hello, excuse me. What is this place?
A timid face appears in the dark, bewildered and uneasy. Its owner wipes her hands on her dress, where there was once an apron.
Me? My name is Hannah. I'm a waitress at Cafe Central. Have we met?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I was just at the cafe, working my shift. The manager told me to walk slower so that I wouldn't kick the customers' the chair legs again. And then everything went dark, and I found myself in this very room. This is strange. Stranger than a novel. I was hoping you could tell me what happened. Explain things to me.
She faces around, looking anxious.
Hmm? This.
Do you
is.
do you want to snooze the ads?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Hmm? What's this?
One of her shoes hits something firm. She crouches down curiously.
Oh, it's A painting? No. A door? How strange that it's on the floor. Actually, it looks like the door to Cafe Central. Something's written on it. It's too dark in here. I can't see. Maybe I can feel it with my fingers. Hmm?
She stops and furrows her eyebrows. She runs her fingers across the doorplate a few more times. The name carved on it kisses the tip of her fingers. A sweet bitterness fills her heart.
Mm-hmm.
Theophil? Mr. Theophil? Did he play a part in the kidnapping? But why would an artist be involved in such a horrible act?
She mumbles to herself, her eyes rolling in the dark. She is looking for an excuse to forgive.
Or perhaps he wants me to be his model. I'd gladly agree to it, of course. He's so handsome and kind. And my goodness, can he paint? Any girl would agree to be his model. He wouldn't need to abduct me for that.
A fragment of a memory comes back to her, but it's vague, shrouded in a white haze.
Oh, I think I remember. Before everything went dark, Mr. Theophil had ordered another Franziskaner. I had it on my tray and then I passed out before I reached the table. Until then, it was a perfectly ordinary day.
The warm color of love fades from her face.
Mr. Theophil looked as handsome as ever. He ordered his usual. Even Mr. Heinrich was wearing the same brown blazer. No, that's not right. Something was different that day. Yes, that was the day she first met her. That was the beginning of everything.
She looks at you, trance-like. The door opens beneath her palm. Cafe Central.
Oh, yes.
Ah, an insightful idea, miss. I have never heard of such a perspective on how to treat mental illness. I'm very impressed. The cream has long since melted into the Franklin scanner. This conversation is much more interesting than the beverages on the table. See? I told you, Theophil. I knew you two would get along. How could you not adore such a lovable and talkative lady? It's the amazing Clara. We met at an auction. She has superb taste in the arts. Heinrich's bouts of excessive enthusiasm are a lovable weakness of his. Rather than annoy, it endears his friends to him. He sweeps up his friend's cup and takes a huge gulp. Oh, by the way, Theophil, where is your sister? You said she'd be here today. I thought she'd agreed to come down to the cafe. Yes, she should have arrived by now. Perhaps she's been delayed on survey over. After the huge success of her debut, my little sister is the new star of Vienna. She is positively swarmed by her admirers on the streets. It's all very sweet, but as you can imagine, it can be quite troublesome.
Here's your coffee.
Sir, here's your coffee.
The waitress lightly places it on the table.
1 Vienna iced coffee and a Maria Theresa. Enjoy!
One cafecino. Her gaze lingers on Theophil, an eager smile upon her face. Her light brown hair is carefully tied in a curly ponytail. Ah, thank you, Hannah. Your smile always brightens up a long afternoon.
You flatter me again, sir.
She blushes and hurriedly looks aside. This is not the first time her dear Theophil has been so sweet to her.
Sure.
Would you like a cake on the side? It's on the house. I remember you said you liked the particular lemon aroma of it. My mother grew those lemons. She brought me some more when she last visited. Would you?
Isolde!
Over here! Ah, Isolde! Ah, my dear girl. When was it that we last met? It feels like eons.
Uh,
It was about 1.5 months ago.
Ah, how unforgivably long. Do you remember when we were younger? We saw each other every week. Ah, yeah, that's what it said.
mm-hmm.
Theo,
Her voice is lost among the chatter. She quietly looks at her sweet Theophil as he gets on his feet and walks up to his sister. He has completely forgotten about the lemons. Or rather, he never cared about them in the first place. Why do you think Isolde is still that little girl who followed you around? I'm afraid you're terribly mistaken, my friends. She is the biggest star of Vienna, and the best and most stunning Salome of all time. Her admirers fill the streets, and her work has shaken the arts world to its very core. Putting both his hands on her shoulders, he basks in his pride for his sister. And all at the ripe old age of 16, no less. She's not some unknown actress taking minor role after minor role, nor is she one of those poets who ends their miserable lives by plunging themselves into a river. No, it won't be long before she becomes the sovereign of theatre. My point is, Mr. Heinrich, that it's very difficult to see her these days, but if you can make her brother's life a little sweeter. Ah, Theophil, you crafty fellow. Heinrich gently punches his arm. Theophil giggles as he pulls himself away from his fist. The cafe is filled with their youthful laughter. Theophil is not yet 20. He looks young, sweet, and happy, as free as the wind. Hannah moves her lips, nervously rubbing her hands on her apron as she tries to come up with more words to get his attention. She notices that Isolde is looking at her and lightly shaking her head.
Yeah.
thank you, but I don't feel like having a drink. It was her. Her! How could I forget? How could I forget her? Oh, what a terrible, terrible future. Did I hit my head? Or was it my neck? Or my legs? My waist? No, 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 no.
Small beads of sweat glisten on the tip of her nose. She checks on her neck, her back, and her limbs, making sure they are still attached to her body. Eventually, her hands stop at her neck.
It was here. Yes.
Touching her neck with both hands, She crouches down on the floor.
So much pain. It was. Why? Why did it have to be me? Why not Teresa or Gregor? Not all who were trampled that day died. Not those who fell to the floor. Those who were pushed in front of the guns. They had a quick and painless death at least. Why me? Why only me?
Why?
Why was I the only one who fell down the stairs? Why was I the only one who screamed in agony? Why was I the only one who suffered a broken egg? It shouldn't have happened. None of this should have happened. The road shouldn't have been covered in sharp gravel. Those creatures in black, with their dark slime dripping all over, they started the demonstration. It was those creatures. Monsters.
Hannah drops her head. Tears stream down her cheeks, dripping on her palms, and pooling on the door beneath her feet. The door is now tightly shut. The door to the cafe with Theophil's name on it. On the other side, Cupid and Psyche convene.
It was the circle. It was the speech.
It's them.
It was they who were responsible.
The puddle of tears beneath her feet confronts her with her own reflection. Her reflected face morphs into someone else's, Isolde's.
The famous opera singer with a touch of sorrow and the daughter of that mirror peddler. They killed me.
Greetings. I'm Clara Wengler.
Perhaps you have heard of the wingless mirror. That's an invention of my family.
We interrupt this tragic retelling of someone's death to cheer for, yeah, Hakanya!
We love Kakanya in this house.
Teresa, I think is clapping for your performance, though. Great job.
Oh. I thought we were genuinely all happy to see Kakanya because that's what I was doing inside of my head. When I saw her, I
Hakanya's
was
on
like,
screen!
"Yay!"
Yahoo!
I was thinking like, when can I finally say the words Wingler's mirror?
There you
I
go.
was waiting for this.
Now there, Teresa clarified.
Thank you.
From the other side of the table, the lady in the green dress extends a white gloved hand. She is leaning forward so far that she is no longer sitting in her chair. This may appear to be too eager, but the smile on her face is sincere.
Isolde.
Heinrich told me a lot about you and your brother. I'm most glad that we finally had the chance to meet.
The honor is mine.
I'm Isolde.
Isolde takes her hand.
Nice to meet you.
It's a privilege to make your acquaintance. Lesbians! Finally!
Yeah. Woo! The lesbians meet.
After all this time, it's been too long.
And from here on, they will live a happy life together and nothing bad will happen.
Sure.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is reverse
Yeah.
1999 or anything like that. No, 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 no.
No.
No
You know,
tragedies here.
all they need is a secret tunnel.
Hmm. Secret tunnel. I will say,
Of
it's interesting that Hannah completely forgot all the things that happened between that interaction and when she died. I assume like years later. How old is Isolde now?
16.
Wait,
Well, no, right now. Oh, right now.
yeah, as of the story, as the current story.
Please, have a seat. You'll always feel
18. Okay.
18.
So yeah, about a year or two after like Isolde's first meeting with Kakanya, you know.
Yeah.
So she chose to focus on that meeting in her like dead ghost fragmented memories. Um, and then only remembered, oh yeah, like a few years have passed since then, and Mateo feels dead. And also I died with the Manus Vindictae, like doing the whole sped up storm, which like caused the storm syndrome and people to riot in the streets and shoot each other. You know, as you do. Part 5. Gray Eyes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I think this is a random
Who is
person.
said? Yeah, all of us be like, who are you?
It's either a random person or it's the stalker.
Okay, well, who's voicing question mark, question mark, question mark?
I could do it. Yeah. Yes, yes, she is Salome. She's my. Yeah, it's the stalker.
My Salome, my muse.
It's Schneider!
My lords.
The voice was very similar.
That's awesome.
Brava! Brava! Fantastic! Truly fantastic! They played part of her character trailer. Another applause. Cliche. Boring. They are merely spectators, distant observers. Their understanding of her is shallow. Of course it is. The concept of a seance performance has captivated the minds of the people. The hall is filled to the rafters with a crowd eager to see the horrific dead descend on this beautiful singer with their own eyes.
Look at this.
This can't possibly be a real performance. Some lower their voices, whispering in the silences between the cheers and applause. One cannot deny that she has become the character, but surely this is somewhat of fraud. That voice is not her voice, and that dance is not her dance. Not even her experience are her own. She's not performing, she's just using that freakish powers of hers. This is witchcraft. Insanity, I tell you. Praise, slander. Their so called fair judgments are all like a raging fire, a freezing gust. They gaze at her face and the movement of her body, and listen to her sing. But never do they think about, nor try to understand, who she is after the curtain falls. They only see her performance, the spirits channeling through her. No one has ever seen her true self. No one, but me. Yes, only me. I look at her, and I see her. Not so spirits, but herself. I understand her. I am loyal to her, now and forever. She is my love and my muse. That's how he says it. Hang on.
Oh, my Salome, my muse.
Ugh. Okay, sure. Ring Road.
Oh, be careful, Miss Clara.
The rain has just stopped. Isolde walks out of the cafe with her friend.
Don't worry.
I'm used to cleaning the stains of my skirts and shoes. Although it is good to be careful. I don't want to have to wash them every time it rains. It would consume far too much of my study time.
The girl in green winks at Isolde. Her eyes sparkle behind her round glasses. She hoists up her skirt, takes a half step back, and deftly leaps over the puddle in front of her.
You... You know, I've never thought of simply jumping over the puddles. Isn't it a little too eye-catching?
No, I think...
Well, maybe so.
They link arms as they walk together. The distance between them is close to zero. They are two new best friends. Right, best friends. Roommates, even. Colleagues.
Oh my god. Oh my god, rich. Especially when we're strolling arm in arm like this. A synchronized leap would look rather odd.
Yes.
But it makes a lot of sense when you're running. Of course, if you're running down the street, a jump will make you no more eye-catching than you already are. But if you're in a hurry, you'll be leaving the sight of others before you even notice that they are staring at you. Ah, like when you ran out of Miss Hornberg's window. Yes, just like... What?
She covers her mouth with one hand, her eyes wide with surprise.
Isolde.
How did you know that? I thought no one living on that street knew of me. You should pay better attention to your surroundings.
Isolde chuckles and looks to their side of the street.
Anyway, you're right that you'd quickly leave people behind, but they'd still have their eyes fixed on you till you were out of their sight. And it wouldn't end there. Their curiosity would only continue to grow. Who is she? Where's she going? Before you know it, the seeds of mystery will have blossomed in every corner of Vienna.
She looks back at Tanya and reaches out a hand to tuck a stray hair away from her face. You know, normal best friend things you do.
Gay!
You know how you like to, tuck your best friend's hair, aside from their face, and, kiss the homies goodnight,
And like, brush off that piece of cake that the person still has stuck to their, lips and be like, oh, you've got something on your lips.
And then, yeah, like, eat that, yeah.
You're like,
Off your
tasty.
finger. Yeah, as you do. Normal best friend things. Between two women.
Yeah, I do that every day,
Yeah.
Not to mention that there's no other witch who would ever jump out of the window of of a noble lady's home but you.
That was a lovely day. The sun shone brightly once the rain stopped, and that was the day she first recognized my existence. The woman in grey closed a notebook in her hand and steps out of the shadows. I am a playwright. Please address me as such. Please, you must call me by this title. I implore you. The playwright stands in front of you. Now that she is closer, you can feel a nip in the air. A layer of grey fog envelops her, coloring the hem of her skirt. Coloring the hem of her skirt grey too. Water is dripping from her clothes, forming a puddle on the ground.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes, my clothes are soaked. I'm soaked. It's a long story. And an unimportant one. Or rather, it's the least important. No, we must start with the most essential part of the tale. Here, hold my hands. She reaches out her hands to you. They are icy cold to the touch.
Yes.
Allow me to
course.
introduce you to my father first. No, this isn't the beginning of the story. Just an appropriate character to introduce it with. Schmiller, Topaz Schmiller, was a man with black hair and grey eyes. His father was a cloth merchant, and his grandfather owned a small farm. Having grown up in a financially sound environment, he didn't have to worry about feeding and clothing himself. This gave him the chance to come into contact with art and beauty. Thus, he became a gentleman. He was polite, read poetry, visited exhibitions, appreciated paintings, and watched opera. This was his favorite. He was deeply moved by the art form and attended theatre regularly. Later, he married my mother, a lesser known opera singer. She wasn't famous and generally played supporting roles. A year after that, I was born.
No, it's not.
Family? No. Family? No. No. I wouldn't call us a family. Or more specifically, I would not count my father as a family member. He rarely spent time with us. No. Nor did he have any kind of real job. He was far too busy writing poems and melodies. Despite that, he never managed to complete a piece, just as he never managed to return home. It was my grandfather who took care of me and my mother. I suffered no hardships. I lived a similar childhood to my father.
Certainly. There's no need to worry.
I received education, was exposed to art, and was loved by my father, and was loved by my mother and grandmother just as he was.
Oh, yes.
I lived a life of calm, stability, and happiness, and as a result, I came to understand him less and less. Why would he choose to leave such a warm and loving family to live in a riverside cabin all by himself? What did grandfather mean by meaningless obsession when they were quarreling? She gives a slight frown as she looks up at the ceiling. The distance between us fed to confusion and disdain in my heart. At the age of 15, I realized that his face had become faint to me. It was blurred, like a wrinkled handwritten letter with tear-smudged ink. Her grey eyes looked cold and hard, like pebbles at the bottom of a river. I was terrified. I knew we weren't close, but I didn't want to be a bad daughter who couldn't even remember her father's face. So I tried, and I tried my best to recall him. After a quick blink, she narrows her eyes. But, as it turns out, my efforts were unnecessary.
Oh, poor little thing.
3 days after I started crying in earnest, my father ran out of his cabin, screaming and crying, and jumped into the river. It was midwinter. He was fished out, dead. Mother fainted when she heard the news. Grandfather fell ill and is bedridden, so I took a carriage to the river by myself. That was the first time I saw my father completely clearly. I realized there was no need for me to worry about being a bad daughter. After confirming his identity of the body, I went to his cabin with the patrol. They helped me stack his things in the carriage and handed me a notebook. This proves that your father committed suicide, they said. I read it, of course. She clenches the notebook in her hand, her previously wandering gaze focused on you. Then, I finally knew where he went when he wasn't home. He went to the Vienna State Opera, to Weigelsdale Park, to Der Graben. Graben? To Der Graben.
Der Graben.
Der Graben, okay. To Der Graben. But he wasn't there for shopping or sightseeing. He was there for her. For Evangeline. She was the only thing on his mind. He praised her. He missed her. He began stalking her.
Down.
He followed her from the moment she left her house until the moment she returns home. He even bribed her doctor to give him first-hand information on her health. The burning passion in these scrolls surpassed all the poems and melodies he had ever written, you know? Simply reading those words scalded me. They were hot, stifling, so much so that they almost killed me. I was trembling in fear. I didn't know what I was scared of, so I kept reading into the freezing wind by the river, one page after another, until I'd read every word. She talks faster and faster, a frantic enthusiasm taking over her body. She almost swallows her tongue in her eagerness to recount the tale. The last page. The last page was moist. Can you imagine? It was smudged by tears, just as my father's face was in my memory. Who is this person with the curly back hair, a pale face, and a body as delicate as a champagne flute? What kind of person is a woman with a perfect and indisputable charisma?
Oh, yes.
I was desperate to find out. Before I could realize what I was doing, I started running. I ran and ran until I arrived at the doors of the opera house. I had run so fast that there was sweat on my brow. Even on that cold winter day, I asked about Evangeline's performance, only to find she had retired in order to recuperate from her illness. The playwright calms herself. Her breathing softens as if she hadn't said a word.
Oh, poor little thing.
Several years later, in mid-June, I heard that Evangeline drowned in the beautiful pond in her garden. She gives you a gentle smile.
Oh, yes.
You see, it was time she followed in my father's footsteps. I never met her. I never had a chance to meet her, let alone hear the thing that driven my father mad. Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't say this out of regret. She gripped your hands even tighter. It is impossible to pull away. Because Isolde, her daughter, had her debut half a month after her mother's death. I was there, just as my father had been at every one of Evangeline's performances. I witnessed her rendition of the Dance of the Seven Veils and how she enraptured the whole of Vienna. In my father's notes, I had a glimpse of the first sign of existence in the swollen ovaries of a rabbit. I know when she took her first step, how painful her night teachers were, even the amount of calming syrup she took.
Ah, yes.
I am my father's daughter, after all, and she, Evangeline's. How beautiful fate is, how it binds us together. Meeting room, theater. You mean this is your original script? The leader of the opera troupe looks up from the thick manuscript on the table, a stiff expression on his face.
Yes, of
Ye-
course.
Yes, sir. This is an original created by me.
Hmm.
Hmm. Miss Miller, I very much appreciate your hard work and persistence. Your grandfather contacted me and told me how passionate you are about playwriting. There is no doubt that you put in great efforts. I can see that you are wholly devoted to your craft, which is certainly an essay quality for a playwright. And you are the granddaughter of my good friends. I even attended your debutante ball. So, as much as it pains me to disappoint you, he closes his eyes. When he opens them again, there is an apologetic look on his face. We cannot accept your scripts, my child. Why?
uh,
It's much too risky. The story, that is. I understand that many stories are inspired by true events, but yours is simply far too obvious. Rosalie, the pretty and gentle the pretty and gentle heroine from a noble family, becomes popular after playing Salome. Her mother murders her father. Her brother burns himself to death. Yet she herself is sociable and surrounded by many friends. Together, they create an organization called The Square, based in Cafe Central. Every day they talk about poems, share their thoughts and ideas. His voice gets lower and lower. Beads of sweat start to form on his forehead. And later, after Rosalie's father dies, her tutor shows a desire for her. He claims to be her godfather. He longs for Rosalie so strongly that he threatens her with his power. Even worse, he plans to murder her best friend Maggie. Yeah, I remember reading the side story when it first came out and being like, ah, yes, here's more justification why it's okay that Isolde killed Carl. It was self defense. Or at the very least, self defense in defense of another, which is not manslaughter. It is actually like um, one of those crimes that wouldn't like send you to jail.
Down.
Exactly, sir. This evil man manipulates Rosalie into dancing for him in a veil.
Oh, poor little thing.
How delicate, how kind, how pitiful she is. She has never hurt a soul. She is always kind hearted, and her gentle nature evokes empathy from everyone. She is sure to stir compassion with the audience hearts. And in the most cruel scene, her hero arrives, pulling her out of the darkness. He enters, a beacon of shining light, bringing salvation and happiness to Rosalie and slaying Cameron the devil. Wow, just like a few letters off. The playwright shoots to her feet, knocking over the chair she was sitting on.
Perfect.
Isn't it a wonderful play, sir? Why are you turning it down? Is it because of the buoyant fee? Is it because of the buyout fee? I won't charge you much. As long as it's all stars in it, everything is negotiable. No, no. I mean to say. The leader mopped his sweaty brow. The characters are too familiar to us. Any audience member with a modicum of knowledge would know that they are based on Miss Isolde. her brother Theophil, their parents, and Mr. Carl. Although Mr. and Miss Dittarsdorf are no longer living, and Mr. Theophil, wherever he might be, isn't the sort to criticize a piece of art, Mr. Carl will not all be happy about it. He would never allow us to put it on. It is absolutely scandalous.
Down.
No, it's not. I saw it all. He was reaching for Isolde's waist. That filthy toad. What are you so afraid of? It didn't end well. I returned home with my script in hand.
Down.
That donkey has no appreciation for art. He even accused me of being an untalented writer. How dare he say that I am merely repeating the facts and not just an Ehrstadt's copy of Salome?
Oh, poor little thing.
I am a playwright. You address me as such, do you not? How could I possibly hand over a manuscript as terrible as he said? I even said that Mr. Carl is a kind gentleman. Preposterous. I was always on Mr. Isolde's side. No one knew her better than I. I knew her friends, her family, and all about that damnable old man. And he was just as I described in the script. She, too, was as I described. Young, beautiful, and fragile as a daffodil.
Oh, she's the best.
Even aging couldn't befall her. That family curse has ensured that nobody in her family has lived past the age of 40. We are all familiar with the events that followed. Theophil's house on fire, and Isolde became fragile and pain-filled. She eventually received shock therapy in full view of the public. She was trembling. The pain looked excruciating. I had never seen her like that. I wanted to scream. I wanted to stand up and yell at Schwartz to stop the torture. I wanted to, but I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything. She releases your hands.
Oh, yeah.
But then, I did it. I stood up. I scolded him. I ordered him to stop using that barbaric treatment. She clasped her hands together. Soon after, I raised a duel against him and won. I killed Schwartz.
Perfect.
You see? That is when I realized it was I who was her hero. My script was always correct. We became close friends after that. There is no more Maggie. We lived happily ever after.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure this might sound a little different from the story you know, but you have to understand.
No, it's not.
You and I are different. There are clairvoyants in my family. My father had prophetic dreams, and so did I. Some say that it's a hereditary mental disorder, but that is not true. In my father's notebook, on a drenched page he wrote, "This world is a false one," because he had seen the true one, the one where Evangeline is still on stage, performing. He set off to find that world. The playwright looks down and holds out the notebook to you. It is grey and soaked. Water drips from its surface. I went to this river again, but it was buried. Where the river once was, a railroad was built, bringing countless travelers to the city. I lay on the tracks, and then I heard a rumbling sound. I lay on them. Her hand does not waver. She is still trying to pass you the notebook.
My Salome, my Muse.
The smell of river water fills the air. You see the playwright's mouth moving, but no sound can be heard. Hand shaking, she drops the notebook and grasps her neck. Another voice replaces hers, squeezing out through her throat. You recognize the voice.
What a sick little story. How on earth did you make it to the end? Honestly, I deserve a peppermint for cutting her off for you. Don't you think you owe me a thank you?
She hops over to the table and sits on it.
How rude.
But those artists, no, those so-called artists, are always over-exaggerating to make their stories more dramatic.
Is that so?
A muse should be kind, good-looking, and fragile. And my little sister, of course, is more beautiful than a rose and more valuable than a diamond. She claimed that no one saw the real Isolde. But did she? Did she see the real her?
Trista stretches out a hand and points into the darkness.
What do you think?
What can you see when you peer through the cracks around the edges of a door? The faster you run, the more curious people become, and the harder they pursue you. Don't you think this is all too mushy? Heroes and beauties, salvation and light. Is this really the story?
Trista's hand pulls you near.
Look, I don't want you to miss this truly dramatic scene.
You look back. The grey door is still cloaked in darkness. In front of it, a grey eye, wet and hard like a pebble at the bottom of a river, is gazing at you.
You can